If Ipswich do turn up with any complacency again into tonight's game, having seen our team use, that's when we're going to come good, that's when there's going to be an error, that's when the pressure's going to start coming good. So I think that is going to be a big strong point for us tonight. We will just obviously read through the team use quickly for you again for the Dons. Obviously Nick Zanev in goal, a back four of Paul Osu, Ben Hennigan, Dan Shoker and Nesta Guinness-Walker. George Marsh and Luke McCormack, the holding midfielders for the Dons today. Ethan Chislett and Jack Rudoni, the attacking midfielders, with Ayub Assal and Aaron Cosgrove leading the lines for the Dons today. Obviously a bench, Terrier Blade, Will Nightingale on the bench, Anthony Hartigan on the bench, and Thomas. And Marie, we haven't had a chance to speak to you about Thomas yet, obviously on loan from Barnsley, potentially in line for his Dons debut. And what a night it is potentially for your Dons debut. What do you think's going through his head right now?
I mean, it's a huge opportunity for him, and going up against such a big team on his potential debut. I'm just excited to see him, and I think he's probably excited to show us what he can do, and try and potentially push other players to nick those spots. It's really exciting. Just so much pace at the team, and I think that will be one thing we're going forward with. Really trying to put in as a new threat. The new way we're going to play. It's all going to be all about that pace.
Now, Stu, Anne-Marie mentioned it there, pace. That's our new way of attack. Without Ollie Palmer, do you think that's going to be vital for us today with that pacey, exciting attacking front four? How key is that?
I think it forces us to do that way. Obviously, Macca in midfield, Rudy. I think it'll force us to go to wide areas and stuff like that. In a way, it might help us without Emil and Ollie. I know the person we shouldn't name, but Ollie, you are tending to go sometimes and hit him. But actually, I think it could be a case that we may play with pace. Cosgrave's got pace, hasn't he? So I think we'll be okay. I think the difficulty is changing your style or changing your approach so close to a game. That's the difficult side of it. But if you know Robbo, as we all do, he'll have him prepared, he'll have him motivated, and I'm quite excited tonight. It just feels like I'm here every day, doesn't it? It's like all these home games. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got so many more to come. Like who does away games?
Well, sadly some of us do, which does mean it is pretty much every day at the moment for us. Obviously we're here tonight against Ipswich. Saturday we're here against Shrewsbury before Tuesday night. Next week we host Cheltenham Town. Again, just looking at around the leagues, I know we've spoken with other guests. Stu, any of those fixtures catching your eye?
Fleetwood have started to pick up a bit of form, aren't they? Gillingham managers, Gillingham against Shrewsbury, obviously Shrewsbury. So hopefully, Gillingham are a team that will kick people, so just kick as much as they can before they come here Saturday. Hey look, do you know what? I think it's one of those things you can look around the league and look what everyone else is doing. It's in our hands now, isn't it? The game. The thing is, the amount of games we've got in hand, they're coming up so quickly. It's always better to have points on the board than games in hand sometimes. So as long as we can get something from these games and be roundabout. Hey look, Shrewsbury coming on Saturday. 6-pointer, that's what they are, do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Anne-Marie, you mentioned it there, 6-pointer on Saturday, Cheltenham the following Tuesday. Have you got a target of what you'd like us to be targeting from these three games?
Goodness me, I'm very much take it one game at a time. Honestly, I know that's a really easy answer, but it's just every game is so different. We're going to have different players available for each one. I'm looking at those fixtures and from a referee's point of view, Gillingham Shrewsbury is going to have cards. And actually, I just think Gillingham are going to be putting absolutely everything out there. It's their last chance saloon, and from our point of view, it seems unfair, but it'd be nice for Shrewsbury to pick up some cards going into our match on Saturday.
I didn't realise Doncaster have actually got off the bottom. They won, didn't they?
Yeah, they won, and we thank them for that victory for no particular reason. But how?
Oh yeah, of course.
Now, Anne-Marie gave me an in to talking about referees, so I think it'd be a waste if I don't. Least Waby, the man in the middle tonight for the Dons, he's a referee who likes to let the game go, doesn't like dishing out any cards. Rob, do you think that's going to suit us tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, so yeah. Because we do have people like Ayub Assal, who does get dragged back quite a lot, and we don't get yellow cards on that kind of thing sometimes. We have got a lot of pace tonight, so I'm actually thinking pacing behind. Their players might want to pull off a couple of the Don shirts back, and then you get the left back or the right back or the yellow card, and all of a sudden we saw it with Nesta Guinness-Walker a couple of weeks ago. What can potentially happen?
Now, Stu, Rob mentioned potentially not getting refereeing decisions tonight. How important is it that we deal with that in a positive way and don't let it get us down, don't let it get to our heads?
Hey look, Ipswich are they're an experienced team as well. You notice Burton on Saturday, around the referee, trying to encourage them. You know it works after a while. I think, hey, look, Aya Basal is a target, one because he's a very good player, but also because you can get him rattled when he doesn't get free kicks and stuff like that. So it's difficult to say. It's difficult to say you've got to not get affected by it.
Yo, yo, yo! What is up, lads? It's your boy Jaggy, and we've got a big one in our hands. I say that all the time, but we really do have a big one on our hands today. I mean, AFC Wimbledon haven't had a win in their last 6 games, and we are coming up against an Ipswich side who are fairly hot and cold, but they've had a decent run of form as of late. Obviously, they did lose the other day, actually. Well, they beat Accrington Stanley, but I'm trying to pull this up real quick. Yeah, they did lose to Bolton January 15th. It just wasn't their day, really. But their new manager, Kieran... I think it's Kieran McKenna. He actually used to work as a first-team assistant coach for Manchester United. And they've looked revitalized under McKenna, especially with the return of James Norwood, who really hasn't been fit throughout the season, but lately he has been injury prone, but has seen some form as of late with, I think, like 4 goals in the past 6 games or so, 4 or 5 in the last 6 games. So yeah, he has 4 goals in the season actually. So yeah, so he has found some form. He is going to be playing alongside who's it? Where did my lineups go? I swear I'm in shambles today. Ignore me. Yeah, he's going to be playing alongside Jackson on the left-hand side. Surprised that they're not playing Macauley Bonne, because he has 12 goals in the season. To be fair, he went on a drought, I think 11 games without a goal or something like that in the middle of the season, but he has scored a couple as of late. Surprised that he's not going to be in the starting lineup, though. I think Jackson's been on form. Luco as a center attacking mid. I think the pairing... They usually have a pairing of Lee Evans and another player that used to play for Wigan. They played together in Wigan Athletic when they got promoted from League One to the Championship, but neither of them are playing today, actually. So several changes being made here from Ipswich. Burns is going to be a problem on that right side. So how AFC Wimbledon are going to match up against them? 4-2-3-1 as per standard. Of course, we don't have Alex Woodyard. He's going to be out for a little over a month or so, and then Anthony Hartigan on the bench today, still coming off of injury. We're going to be seeing Luke McCormick playing as a holding mid today, which, you'd like to see Luke McCormick play as an attacking mid because he has that capability of creating chances. He's very active off the ball, but at the same time, he's up and down the pitch. He does help out on the defensive end a lot, so I think McCormick will be decent. He'll provide some long balls, perhaps for Aaron Cosgrave, who has plenty of pace. And, he holds the ball up decently. He's not an aerial threat necessarily, but he does hold the ball up with his chest. He can turn out, change of pace, make some runs for a Sal or Chislett or Radoni to play him in, and we'll see how that works out. I'm still in shambles because I don't have my live stream pulled up. And the game's about to start up here. So, prediction... I'm going to say, well, considering that we've been, we've had a lot of question marks up top, and with Aaron Cosgrave, I'm sure he'll impress, but the thing is we still don't have an established striker today. I think Aaron Cosgrave will work his way into the game. I think first half he'll try to find his feet a little bit, and then second half maybe he'll be a little bit more dangerous, but I think they'll nick a goal today. I think Ipswich Town, though, even though they are a bit hot and cold, they are in form at the moment and look a bit revitalized with the return of James Norwood and with the new manager. So I think if I were to be a little bit on the pessimistic side today, I'm going to say 2-1, but on the optimistic side, 1-1. I'm going to say 2-1 in the end, but I think AFC Wimbledon will... I think they'll show some fight and some grit, But still plenty of question marks as to where the goals will come from with Ollie Palmer being gone. Obviously, he only had 4 goals in the season, so he wasn't necessarily a plentiful goal scorer. But he did drop deep a lot and created some opportunities for the likes of Asal and Radoni to make runs on the outside. Obviously, that we lacked a target man inside the box with Ollie Palmer dropping deep, but we'll see what happens. I think Ethan Chislett coming on as a starter is actually fairly interesting too, because he hasn't started all season. I don't think he's come on as a sub a couple of instances, but we'll see how he does. Yeah, where are the goals going to come from? Plenty of question marks today. Hopefully AFC Wimbledon can answer those questions, and hopefully they can impress. That being said, we are underway.
Ipswich then in the away strip over white shirts, black shorts and white socks. Get things under.
Already Ipswich playing it long here. I'm trying to get the scoreboard set up, but the timer isn't showing up.
Clear the ball back into Ipswich territory.
I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit so it's not too overpowering. Ball bouncing around top of the 18 from AFC Wimbledon's final third here. Or I should say Ipswich defensively, but Ipswich come away with it. Yeah, Norwood will definitely give us some problems. I think Burns will also, although Burns is playing more of a right midfielder rather than a right winger. So, probably going to be up and down the pitch. Burns not the fastest individual in the world, but he's good on the ball. He's very quick on the ball. Quick touches, can get in behind a defense pretty quickly. But that being said, Paul Ossie on the right here is going to take a shot from distance. I like that he's willing to take the shot on, but that one was a good 6 yards over the bar. Yeah, that being said, I mean, with Ollie Palmer gone now, hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit more positive football, right? A lot of the times we would play it out wide. Palmer would play deep, and considering the height that he possesses, we didn't use him as a target man enough. I know he's not great in the air, but we could have given him more service. That being said, Ipswich on the left-hand side here, trying to get the cross off with Aluko. And it looked to me like it bounced off Hennigan, bounced back off Aluko. Out for a goal kick. It's going to be a bit of an issue, those wide areas with Burns, Vincent Young, and maybe not. They're not going to prioritize the wide areas too much because they are playing 2 up top here, Ipswich, so they might knock it long to Norwood, or they might have Norwood hold it up for Jackson to play him, or to play Jackson on the through balls. But still, Burns is always going to be a danger man on the right hand side. We'll see how Nesta Guinness Walker will fare. Now here is Burns on the right side. Nicely done. No? What? How's that a foul? George Marsh put the press on there. Took it off of Aluko, but maybe did overextend on the challenge a little bit. Paul also putting the press there on one of the center mids. Able to dispossess, and now Jack Radoni here. It's going to be a 4-on-4 here for AFC Wimbledon to capitalize with. Okay, Ipswich do get numbers back now. With Jack Radoni. Yeah, drawing the foul there. Looking to play the cross, but then took it back to his right foot, and then looked to me like Backinson just kind of gave him a little bit of a shove. And now it's going to be a free kick here for AFC Wimbledon, about, let's say, 25 yards out, but way on the side of the pitch. So it's going to be a looping one here for McCormick to take. Maybe not a looping one, but like an in-swinging curler type of free kick here. Or, no, I wouldn't be surprised if Maka just like kind of just drove it with his laces. That's what he's done a couple of times. Instead, he curls it, in-swinger, headed away. James Norwood on the defense there on Guinness Walker as he tried to head her away, and then Guinness Walker took a few touches to the right. Just got shrugged off there by James Norwood. Ipswich going short here. Vincent Young is going to be dispossessed here. Nicely done there by Ethan Chislett on the press. Just a couple touches too many there from Vincent Young. Yeah, I like to see Daniel. Ooh. Okay, Guinness Walker still picks it up. It was a wayward pass there by Zanev. Doesn't even find Chuka as he tried to pass it to him, but. Yeah, Jack Redoni on the left-hand side tried to thread it through to Cosgrave, and it did get poked away there by the defender. And good idea there from Redoni, just a little bit too close to the outside back there, or outside center back, Donasian. Ole. Damn. That was a wayward pass. But nice to see Daniel Chuka on the starting lineup. Obviously, it's preferable that we see Will Nightingale instead of Chuka, but Chuka had a great game. He had a fantastic game against, I think that was Portsmouth, who, that was the game where he had, no, it was, yeah, no, it was the Portsmouth game. He had a fantastic game. Or was it Morecambe? I forget, yeah. The one where he got like a clearance over the bar. It was fantastic work from Chuka there. But he's in good form. Ben Hennigan, too, is also in great form. He actually got a really good block against Burton Albion when I think it was... I forget the striker. I think it was Jettison who tried to take it on his left foot, and then like he threw his body on the line to block the shot. And you always expect Ben Hennigan to get in positions to block the shot like that. So that being said, Ipswich are knocking around here on the left, and I do expect James Norwood to receive a lot of the hold-up plays, and just to try to get in good areas once he does release the ball. That being said, Norwood on the hold-up there actually gets out-muscled by Jack Redoni. And it's going to be a throw in here for Wimbledon as Jack Redoni just kind of tried to clear his lines, and it bounced off of Norwood. Ooh, Cosgrave knocks it over the top there, intended for Chislett, and he actually out-muscles the defender. Looked to me like it was Vincent Young on the defense there. It looked to me like it was going to go out for a goal kick. Also gets the cross off. Oof. Yeah, it looked to me like it was just going to fizzle out for a goal kick, but... Aluko being pressed here by Guinness Walker. Guinness Walker's all the way up the pitch, close to the goal line now. Very high press. Hopefully we have some coverage for him. It doesn't matter anyway because Ipswich knocking around their back line, allowing Guinness Walker to recover. That's something that we've been doing a decent job lately. When our outside backs have been pressing high, you know, the likes of Woodyard, who's not playing today, Marsh or Hardigan, who's not playing today, cover the spaces a lot better than before and earlier in the season when we would give up a lot of through balls. You know, notably Paul Osu, you know, playing really high as a kind of an outside mid instead of an outside back, and we would get caught in behind a lot. But Cosgrave going to hold it up on the throw in here. Decent cross by Guinness Walker, high and looping over the head of everyone except for Chisler, who tried to touch it down but then didn't even get a touch.
Right down the line, looking for Norwood. Hennigan's there, gets there first. Retains possession for the Dons. Now here's Chocker inside the centre circle. Guinness Walker having to hurry and play the ball back to Zanev as he was very nearly closed down there by Burns. Forward it goes from the Dons keeper. Wolfenden nods it high and back forward. McCormick now nods it forward. Only as far as Edmondson. This time well closed down by Assal, and again...
Edmondson has been, you know, there were a couple moments in the season where he looks a little sketchy when he's knocking around the back. If you put high press on Edmondson, ooh, that's a good ball there for Vincent Young, but looked to me like Paul Ossu was able to see it out. But you put the high press on Edmondson, sometimes he'll struggle to deal with it. So we'll see how that turns out.
What an immense sense of pride he must be feeling here this evening, and seeing all of his marvellous and nurturing work very truly come to fruition. With 10 minutes gone then, still the Dons 0, Ipswich 0. You're with myself, Mike T and Rob Cornell, serving it up to you live from Plough Lane then this evening. The crisp and cold January Tuesday evening here in South West London, and well, so far Ipswich perhaps flattering to deceive to a certain extent, as the Dons again looking to redouble their efforts and put in a high tempo, high energy display.
Ipswich once again lose possession here as pretty predictable square ball was picked off there by McCormick, and Ipswich have given it away several times so far, much to the chagrin of Alex Griffin, who's probably watching this game live right now and vlogging it. Or when I say live, I mean he's probably at the ground. I wouldn't be surprised. There we go, Rodoni drawing the foul once again. Kind of similar to the challenge made earlier from Backinson, where Burns actually gave him a little bit of a shove after Rodoni taking a nice touch towards the center and you know, leaving his back to you know, it's good positioning. It's one of those things where you position your body to where you draw the foul in case the challenge does come in. And it's going to be a free kick for McCormick to take. This time he drives it with his laces, kind of a backspin type of thing. Header not fully away. And Hennigan tried to get a side-footed cross kind of over his head, but straight up and to the hands of the keeper. There's that AFC Wimbledon patented double team high press when they get it to the wings, and it forces a long ball over to Norwood. Norwood knocks it back, and forcing Luke McCormick to get in the challenge. Throw in here for Ipswich. Expect Norwood to be that hold up man every now and again.
Burns takes it, throws it back into his own half for Donatian. And now with Wolfenden moving forward towards halfway, lofts it high and forward towards that far side.
Hey, what's up, Hanson? How you doing? Yeah, I just overslept last time. Still sick with COVID, but I'd like to think that today or tomorrow will be my last day in which I have it. I think your Insta, I think you're doing a very good job with it. You know, the posts are fairly eye-catching with the thumbnails, and I think the descriptions are descriptive enough. And I think you're doing a good job. Unofficial AFC Wimbledon Instagram news page. Corner kick here coming in for Ipswich.
Headed clear for the Dons by Chalker. Ipswich can recycle it towards that far side. Once again, another cross that comes into the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, well watched and well cleared by Hennigan as Ipswich just start to concertedly.
Yeah. That. Anyway, going back to what I was saying before, I overslept on the Burton stream. I was just feeling like shit. And I was thinking about doing a reaction to the extended highlights, but then I just never got around to it. So it was just one of those days for me, I guess. But from what I saw on the extended highlights, I mean, AFC Wimbledon played decent. But unfortunately, they kind of went back to their old ways last season, early in the season, where they score and then they just have a defensive lapse. I think Woodyard was a little bit slow to track back. Could have tried to press a little bit earlier and wasn't able to recover. And there's a through ball played in, or ball down this cross down the 6. Yeah.
14 minutes gone, still goalless. Ball now back with Nick Zanev just outside of his penalty area. Launches it away towards the near side. Donasian gets a header to it. Flicks it backwards and out of play. Throw in to the Dons. Could be taken by Rudolph.
Quick throw here. Sal's going to chase.
Tussling with Donasian.
Donasian shrugs him off pretty easily.
Referee rules in favour.
Looked to me like Sal might have beaten him for pace, but Donasian just drops the shoulder, gets in the challenge, and sees it out for a goal kick.
As we once again holler out the New Zealand branch in the shape of our very own Chris Norton. And greetings to you, sir. Here come Ipswich now inside the centre circle with Caden Jackson. Chance now for Carroll to move away towards the far side. Here's Kane Vincent Young. Back to Carroll. Slid once again back into the centre.
Norwood on the hold-up, but his first touch let him down. Thankfully for Ipswich, it went straight to Aluko, who maintained possession. They switch it over here. Neskinus Walker going to have to defend Burns. Burns is always a danger man. Takes it to his right. He's going to get the cross off, it looks like. Yep, down the 6, cleared away by Choka. He is going to be a danger man all game long. Neskinus Walker certainly has a tough task.
Another throw to Ipswich, again taken by Burns.
Now Burns all the way back to Donasian.
Donasian. Here's Carroll now, forced to retreat back towards the halfway line.
Back to Burns.
Diagonal pass into the pass.
Burns, first time over to the center mid inside the 18, and the cross is played in. Again cleared away by Choka.
And Jackson were both lurking. And in the end, the Dons have got it clear at the expense of a throw on this near side.
Yeah, Dan Choker taking responsibility there and making the clearance. It's interesting speaking to Darius Charles.
Jackson were both slid back
Sorry, I was rewinding a little bit. They were talking about Darius Charles.
at the expense of a throw.
Hold on, I'm rewinding just a bit.
Yeah, Dan Choker taking responsibility there and making the clearance. It's interesting speaking to Darius Charles in his new role as first team coach as well. Now trying to bring the skills along as a centre back required. His experience, he's pushing that on to.
Yeah, Daniel Choka with very good defensive positioning on 2 of those crosses, preventing James Norwood from nodding it in from 6 yards out.
Ball at the vital moment, he couldn't quite steer it forward into Aaron Cosgrave. And here come Ipswich.
Ooh, Ipswich on the left-hand side here. It's going to be Jackson here back to Donasian.
Into the penalty area.
Or Vincent Young, actually.
The Dons, but in the end,
Nicely done
Vincent Young
by Luke McCormick there to see it out.
Just keeping an eye on Ava Sal there, and a little bit of frustration towards Aaron Cosgrave on a couple of occasions. She's got to keep it calm.
Yeah, before that instance, it was actually
On to Dan Choker as well now.
Ayuba Sal who tried to get in the break there, and
intercepting and then moving.
I think Aaron Cosgrave just ran a little bit too far forward. He was expecting, Asal was expecting Cosgrave to just stop his run and have a square ball played to him, but you can't blame Cosgrave for continuing to make that run. I think Asal was a little off balance. He wasn't able to get the pass off, and just a little bit of miscommunication between the two. Aaron Cosgrave has been pressing all game, though. It's nice to see. A little bit quicker, a little bit faster than someone like Ollie Palmer. A little more athletic. I mean, Ollie Palmer is pretty athletic for his size, but I think Aaron Cosgrave is a bit more of a threat when it comes to the press as well as the runs being made. Very quick, pacey individual and can really get behind a defense on his day.
For Burns, Redoni though as well, intercepts, feeds it square to Marsh. Now here's Chislett, forced back into his own half by Carroll. Now Hennigan floats the way towards the
Hennigan playing it long, and the header was not convincing. Straight to George Marsh, who tries to switch.
near side, looking for a foul, but well played by the backtracking Wes Burns.
Oh, come on.
His leg clipped there
Yeah,
by,
it's a good work there by Burns to track the run of Asal and then draws the foul there from Guinness Walker as he tried to come in.
in the background. I think probably the right award there, and then well, Wes Burns has tried to take the free kick quickly, and he's drilled the ball straight against Ayuba Sal. I think maybe in an attempt to get him booked, because we've seen that happen before, haven't we, Rob, where the referee takes the side of the attacking player.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still early days in this one as well. 18 minutes gone, and see Aves just sort of getting a little bit frustrated out there at times. That competitive nature from him as well, though, which we want to see. But obviously,
Jackson once again making a run in behind. Good work there by Ben Hennigan defensively not to allow Jackson to get in behind there. Throw in here for Ipswich to take.
19 minutes gone then. Ipswich in possession midway inside the Dons half. With Vincent Young now it's switched across towards his near side into Donacia now. Here's Burns. Flicked on down the line.
Norwood's going to hold it up on the right once again. It was good press there by Dan Choka to follow him the whole way through.
Now Carroll.
Now they switch to the left-hand side here.
Edmondson moving forward down towards that left-hand side. Cross comes into the edge of the box. Scoops straight up.
That was a terrible cross there by Vincent Young. Straight to the top of the 18, cleared away by Maca.
On towards Cosgrave, but Wolfenden's there. Steers it high and forward towards that far side, but no one.
Whoopsie daisy.
Into the Dons.
Let me move that left. My bad.
on Sunday, isn't it, for the London Broncos making their debuts in the against Widnes Vikings here.
Well, indeed. Wonder who the commentators will be for radio.
So far, I mean, first 20 minutes, neither keeper has really been challenged. I don't think there hasn't even been a half chance for either side, really. Not a single shot on goal, I don't think.
Job of dismantling our goal.
Actually, there's been one or two shots, but none of them have been on goal. There was a shot from Osu from distance, but it went yards over the bar.
20 and a half minutes gone then. Still the Dons 0, Ipswich 0. Here's Edmondson towards the far side. Played forward down the line for Vincent Young. Well closed down again by the Dons. Forcing Ipswich to play it back to Wolfenden. Oh, and he's looked up and tried to play a real Beckham-esque ping diagonal left to right pass, but in the end went way beyond.
The switch there from Wolfenden was way off target and like 15 yards over anyone's head.
On disdain, I think, in the direction of Wolfenden.
That being said, a long ball to Cosgrave doesn't pan out either.
Henway with the restart there, and it's Ipswich already.
Ooh, AFC Wimbledon putting on the press here.
Inside their own half.
And Luke McCormick now from that holding mid position was pressing all the way high.
Pricing of the captain, Edmondson, Luke Wolf.
It was three AFC Wimbledon players pressing Wolfenden. He had to pass it all the way back to the other center back.
Down the right-hand side to Burns.
Burns with a 1-2 with him and Donassi, and he gets the cross off first time. Good positioning there from Hennigan as Norwood tried to get a shot off, but it looked to me like it kind of fizzled out as it bounced off of Hennigan. Top of the 18 there. Good positioning from Hennigan. Norwood has not had any success as of yet, dealing with the likes of Hennigan and Choka, whose defensive positioning has been up to par.
Anyway, here come Ipswich with Carroll just inside his own half. Squared for a
Yeah, just making sure that they're goal side of Norwood. They're not allowing Norwood to get in behind.
Ipswich happy to just drop back on the defensive and just pass it around amongst themselves and maybe try and frustrate the Dons before them trying to maybe launch a killer ball forward into the Dons half.
It's kind of funny, right? Because AFC Wimbledon has seen a complete opposite season from last time. Not opposite, I should say, but ooh. Jackson through ball, gonna be double teamed. Ooh. I was gonna say, it looked to me like Rudoni was gonna help out in the press there, but before he could get there to help Hennigan, the cross was played down the 6. And James Norwood there trying to get him behind once again, but it looked to me like Choka got his shoulder in the way, and neither Choka nor Norwood got a foot to the ball, and then it trickled to the back post, and it was cleared away there for a corner kick by Nestiganis Walker. Yeah, good work there by Choka again to stay goal side of Norwood.
Burns now will deliver the ball into the Dons penalty area.
Header away there, and now it's gonna be a 2-on-2 with Asau playing Osu there in behind. Ipswich do get numbers back though. Also tried to thread it through, maybe a little bit too forcefully there for Aaron Cosgrave.
And now Jackson will take up the running again for Ipswich down their left-hand side. Oh, and
Okay.
he's got to be a little bit clever there and try and thread an angled ball into the box, but in the end it was too.
Yeah, just try to get it through to Aluko, but that was a good 5 yards to the left of Aluko. Not on the same page there, Jackson and Aluko. Kind of a similar instance with Asal and Cosgrave not being on the same page. or Osu in this case, but Asau earlier in the game not being on the same page with Cosgrave.
Strides forward towards halfway, clips it towards the near side. Oh, but this time it's the Dons' turn.
Yeah, I think, from the words of Rob Tuvey, Cosgrave has been great in training. Very, very good work rate. Can hold the ball up pretty well, but it looks to me like AFC Wimbledon, the attacking players in Redoni, Asal, Chislett, and even McCormick when he goes up there every now and again are still kind of trying to work the chemistry with Aaron Cosgrave a little bit. They don't seem to have been linking up very well so far to start this game. That being said, Vincent Young has plenty of space on this left-hand side. He's going to be threading it through to Jackson, but he has to take a touch back away from goal as Hennigan was pressing. I like that Hennigan and Chuka are not afraid to continue the press whenever they play to their strikers instead of backing off and allowing the striker to turn. Needless to say, it can be a little sketchy if they play a square ball down towards the center and they play a 1-2 and they can kind of spin out. But that hasn't happened yet for Ipswich. AFC Wimbledon's defensive shape has been pretty good, but it has been decent for the past 3 or 4 games, but we still haven't gotten those. We've gotten 1 goal against Burton, but that was really it. Cross coming off here. Intended for Norwood, headed away by Hennigan. Not fully away, though, as George Marsh, his header away was only about 4 yards out. Ooh, a 1-2 between Burns and Donasian. We saw that about 5 minutes ago with Donasian playing the return ball. This time it was Donasian receiving the return ball. The cross was blocked there by Ethan Chislett. That's something we got to watch out for. The center backs every now and again pressing up for Ipswich, mainly Donasian, who's more of an attacking center back, and linking up with Burns very well so far this game. And corner kick here for Ipswich. Looked to me like even with those 1-2s and those occasional moments, those moments of flashes of brilliance from Ipswich, we're still defending pretty well. Corner kick headed away by Hennigan. Not fully away. And yeah, Backinson taking on Osu 1v1, took it to his right foot, and again, Ben Hennigan in position to block that shot. That looked to me like a far post curler that Backinson was trying to attempt. Yeah, Backinson, this is his first start, actually. And his first, not only his first start, but his first appearance for Ipswich. So we'll see how he does for Ipswich. Backinson, the man from Bristol City, had 4 goals, 1 assist a couple seasons ago. Only 1 goal, 0 assists last season. So he's going to be looking to make a name for himself here. But that being said, Asal defended by Backinson now. And Backinson was able to force Asal to play it back, and damn. It's going to be a throw in here now for Ipswich. Sorry, I was rewinding to see because I missed something specific here. Yeah. There's just a little bit of pinball as Asal tried to play it back, and then a defender got a foot in and it bounced off a Wimbledon player. I gotta say, Backinson's been pretty good on the ball. He's taken a touch and then played out. So I've been impressed with Backinson for Ipswich. But a switch attempt was made there to Vincent Young, a little bit too far ahead of him. Switch was attempted there by Burns. Yeah. Yeah, Ipswich have not been too good on the ball. Every now and again, they've given away possession in the midfield and then trying to play, through balls over the top, switched through balls to the outside mids, and they've been wayward. So AFC Wimbledon, have had opportunities to counter, but they haven't capitalized on the losses of possession that Ipswich have been seeing. Dan Chaka tries to play Nesta against Walker over the top, but wayward pass from him with his weak foot. And, yeah, way too far to the left.
From Ipswich as well. Maybe that's areas that the likes of Rob Tooby and Mark Robertson down in the technical area there can exploit. Andy Parslow making an appearance.
Yeah, both teams are kind of sloppy in this half at times.
Anyway, talking of restarts, it's a throw to Ipswich directly in front of our commentary box. Denoy Donasian to take it. 29 minutes gone, still goalless. Going down the line to Norwood.
Norwood with a very poor pass off of the throw in. Looked to me like, again, an intended through ball there for Cosgrave. It was picked up by Asal. Him and Cosgrave have not been on the same page. This time it was kind of a wayward pass from Asal. And, you know, just a little bit too far to the right of Cosgrave as he tried to play him through. And then Asal on the hold up there tries to be a little too cute and play a flick pass back for Cosgrave, but Cosgrave wasn't making the run, not on the same page there. Oh, man. Yeah, Asal hasn't been very good on the ball so far today. We'll see if that can change. And they switch it over once again to Rodoni this time. Yeah, it was good work by Rodoni to win the header for Guinness Walker, but it was Donasian who was able to out-position Nesta Guinness Walker and win possession back. Vincent Young, every time he gets out on that left side, he has so much space, and he's going to try to play in, once again, he's going to try to play Jackson, but again, the press there from Ben Hennigan, it's been a constant pattern every time they bring it to the left. It's always Vincent Young. Vincent Young tries to play Jackson. Jackson tries to play it back because of the press from Hennigan, and Hennigan wins it back. So Ipswich has seen a lot more success on that right-hand side with Burns, kind of knocking it around with the center mids, you know, playing 1-2s. But on the left-hand side, it's been pretty predictable here from Ipswich. That being said, Donasian tries to play a through ball to Burns. And good work there from Nick Zanev to come out very, very early. And, you know, saw that the run being made from Burns was a dangerous one and picked it up. Donasian and Burns has been a very deadly duo so far here for Ipswich. Now here we go again with Vincent Young. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. This time he actually plays a regular ball over to Jackson instead of a through. Backinson tries to chip it over Alsu, but Alsu wins the header. Asal, yeah. Asal tried to get around Edmondson, but good defensive positioning there from Edmondson. And played it square to the center mid to get out of space. Nick Zanev shrugging the ball off there after James Norwood tried to get him behind, but Nick Zanev was able to get his body in the way. Out for a goal kick. I've done that a couple times as a keeper where I try to come out and then like the ball's trickling out and I try to shrug it off and let it go out for a goal kick. And looked to me like Zanev just failing to clear his lines. I mean, he did clear his lines, but it was a wayward clearance.
Well, given the circumstances leading up to the game, and certainly in terms of how we've seen Ipswich pass the ball around, again, the Dons not managing to make much headway in the final third, but certainly presenting a very...
George Marsh almost was able to pick off a slightly wayward pass there from Vincent Young, but they recovered possession. Yeah, Ipswich have been possessing well in the last 10 minutes or so. You know, first 20 minutes giving away possession too much, but now they're starting to find their footing here.
Intercepted though by the Dons in the shape of Guinness Walker. As McCormick tries to make his way square away from Norwood, who sends him to ground and then tries to jostle him.
Ooh, Cosgrave on the hold up here. First time with his chest, but Donatian ends up winning it out in the end.
Cosgrave can't bring the ball under control, and Ipswich can come away again down that left.
Vincent Young once again being pressed by Chislett.
Dons half.
Takes it to the center.
Still Vincent Young. He's got Donatian on the near side.
Yep, Donatian on the right side here. Plays to Burns. Burns going to try to take on Ness against Walker. Heavy touch to his right foot and gets the cross off. Nicely done there by Luke McCormick to get in the way there. Top of the 6. Or top side of the 6 was able to clear his lines. Ness against Walker's had a bit of a hard time dealing with Burns on that right-hand side. He's not the fastest player, but his acceleration is second to none. Just slows the play down, and then all of a sudden just takes a heavy touch and is able to put himself in good areas there, Burns.
Having to try maybe the previously untried and untested. Aaron Cosgrave with, again, just a couple of sub-appearances prior to this evening.
Ball over the top. James Norwood finally gets the better of Chaka there, but he tries to get the cross off. Thankfully, it was Ben Hennigan who was able to get in the way there. It was a good ball there by Backinson. And this time, Chaka gets beat. But thankfully, defensive positioning there from Hennigan was able to get in the way. The cross was intended for Jackson on the back post there.
From their right-hand side. Tom Carroll to take it. 9.5 minutes remaining.
That was the first real moment of you know, I shouldn't say moment, but it was a glimpse of an opportunity there for Norwood to capitalize. The first one of the half, really,
Dons have done well
for him.
Managed to send it high and clear towards halfway. Sauler can't control the bouncing ball. Comes on the challenge from Vincent Young. Looks and hooks it high, back and forward. Into the edge of the penalty area. Oh, and in the end, Nick Zanev grabbing it at the second attempt with Caden Jackson looking to pounce on a potential error. The Dons come forward again now.
Maka is going to try to play it forward. Osu.
Plays the ball forward, but it's intercepted once again, this time by Edmondson.
Why are we pressing Cladkey? Come on.
And well, bit of unrest amongst the Dons fans who maybe don't feel that the Ipswich keeper was being pressed or harassed maybe as much as he should have been.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bouncing ball there. It was Cladkey just had plenty of time to just let it bounce, and he played it out.
These opportunities, when they come along, they do present themselves. Wimbledon have got to take them in the moment because they've had to withstand
Ooh.
Ipswich possession in this first half.
And here they come again now with that Luco away towards the far side. Back now to Jackson. Again, obviously playing as a central striker.
Oh, that was a good back post cross there.
In the end,
It looked to me like Backinson was asking for the foul there. Yeah, it was a great back post cross there. Backinson intended target. Rudoni maybe a little bit of a shirt tug there, but I still don't think it was enough to bring him down, as Backinson was at the right side of that 6-yard area trying to get a header in, but wasn't able to steer it towards goal, thankfully.
he was unfairly impeded, but the referee
First real opportunity there, well, second with that cross from Norwood a few minutes ago, but yeah, those two chances from Ipswich, the only real chances of the half so far from them. But that's not really telling the whole story of the half, as Ipswich have been controlling the last 15-20 minutes in terms of possession. Kind of akin to how AFC Wimbledon have been playing at times, where they dominate possession but don't really do anything with it. Aside from the occasional play there from Burns on the outside.
Keeping shape a lot, as I said, on the shoulders of Captain Ben Hennigan here tonight, doing organising as well out there. But they're coping with it at the moment.
And Chaka winning the header over Norwood off the throw-in.
7 minutes to go till half time. Here's Rudoni now.
Midfield battle from both sides here.
For Guinness Walker, but well intercepted by Ipswich. And now here's Kane Vincent Young with a chance to make strides.
Ollie Palmer just scored for Wrexham. Oh man, that's a bit heartbreaking.
To Jackson, but he's very well dispossessed.
Aren't they playing Grimsby Town? Isn't that like a major rivalry?
So once again, Ipswich looking to try and put those passes.
Ooh, AFC Wimbledon playing out of the back here,
Really dogged and defending.
but forced to try to. Okay, Nessa Walker doesn't get his lines cleared. It's now chance for Aluko to get something. He plays it out to Burns. Burns beaten away there. It looked to me like he tried to get the cross off, but then it actually trickled towards the back post, kind of like a half shot, half cross from Burns there, and forced Nick Zanev to palm it away out for a corner kick. It was a very, I mean, they were playing it out of the back, AFC Wimbledon, but then there was more press being played by Ipswich, and Nessa Guinness-Walker with a wayward clearance with his left foot, allowing Aluko to take a couple touches toward the 18 and play it out to Burns, who half cross, half shot there, beaten away. 4 shots on target in 4 games now for AFC Wimbledon. Not good enough, certainly. Cleared away here. Now it's going to be a 4-on-4 here. 5-on-5 more like. Yeah. They get it out to Chislett. Takes a touch towards the center. Why is nobody making runs to help him out? Come on. Sal's first touch was very heavy. Her second touch as he tried to steer it towards his left foot down the 18-yard line. But first touch was pretty heavy, and Sal, just kind of a testament to how his game has been so far. Really not on par today in terms of the final third quality. Huh. Weird, very bizarre play here from Ipswich as the goal kick was played out to the outside back. The outside back heads it back to the center back. Ball bounces a couple of times. Now AFC Wimbledon find possession. Fuck. Ethan Chislett's offside there as he tried to receive a ball from McCormick. A hold-up play for McCormick there. Or from Chislett, but he was offside. Started from an offside position. Yeah, the ball was bouncing around a couple of times inside the 18-yard box, and Wimbledon perhaps pressing a little bit too late there. Ooh, wayward pass there from Vincent Young, and now McCormick is able to pick it up. Nice back heel back towards Paul Loss, who's taking a couple of touches. Shrugged off there, though. It was a great play initially. Oof. Couple of midfield battles here. Aluko's being pressed by Chislett, and now Cosgrave, first time! Oh my god! Completely against the run of play. But the referee has played it back for a foul there. Completely against the run of play. Aluko tried to dummy it and try to play it to his right foot there, but Guinness-Walker was able to dispossess him, and then all of a sudden, the ball went up in the air. I'm trying to see what happened there. Yeah, Aluko just took a little bit too much time on the ball actually in the second instance, and Chislett actually dispossessed and went straight to Cosgrave, top of the 18, first time off the post, but committed the foul anyway before he created the space. Damn. Yeah, Aluko a couple of times getting dispossessed there in the center midfield. Ooh, nicely done from Choka. Very good dribbling there. Kind of a 1-2, like from his left foot to his right foot, and plays the pass in between 2 defenders. Also on the right now. Heavy touch. Tries to get around Vincent Young. Vincent Young is up to the task. But Ipswich are playing out of the back here. They're getting pressed. But it was good work there from Edmondson to play it out of trouble.
Ipswich come forward again now in the shape of Wolfenden towards halfway. Played on the outside for Burns. Little flick it. First time infield looking for
Norwood, yeah, on the hold up there was kind of a little bit high for him, and so his first touch was kind of poor. A Sal.
Now here's Guinness-Walker taking over. Square for Chislett. Back now to McCormick. Here's Marsh.
Okay, the high press from Ipswich, forcing AFC Wimbledon to play two-touch football. Now Hennigan tries to play it forward to Cosgrave on the hold-up, but it looks to me like Edmondson is up to the task. He gets ahead of Cosgrave there and draws the foul from Cosgrave. It was a good idea there from Hennigan, but Cosgrave wasn't able to get the better positioning. Well, AFC Wimbledon are doing a good job of keeping possession, you know, two-touch football, but they're not incisive enough once again. And Cosgrave, every now and again, when he's trying to make those incisive runs, we're just not able to play it to him because, you know, a lot of our passes are kind of wayward or forced, perhaps. Well, no stoppage time. Okay. First half ends. Yeah.
30 or so seconds. Well, we had that recently in the African Nations Cup. One of the referees blew, I think, 5 minutes early.
Really? Huh.
Added on some time, started the game again, but
well, I guess I'm not complaining since Ipswich were in possession. Okay. Well, I'm not going to waste any time. Fairly hungry. I'm going to be eating some lunch, but some quick thoughts here on that particular half. You know, first 15 minutes, really nothing to talk about. I mean, both teams, it was a midfield battle, really, and then neither team really having a vice-like grip on the game. Towards the end of the first half there, I mean, Ipswich are knocking around fairly well, and they were a little bit dangerous on that right-hand side with Burns and Backinson, you know, playing a couple of nice balls into the outside of Vincent Younger to Burns whenever he makes the runs. And then, yeah, James Norwood was kept a little bit quiet in that half, but he did see an opportunity as he did get in behind Chaka in one instance and try to get a cross over to Jackson. Thankfully, Ben Hennigan's positioning was solid. Otherwise, it would have been a clean tap in there from Jackson. And then an opportunity where Backinson tried to head it towards goal, back post, but could have been a foul, could have not. I think Rodoni tugged his shirt a little bit, but it wasn't enough. It was for like a half second, and then Backinson just kind of milked the contact a little bit. But other than that, really no chances being created from AFC Wimbledon. They did have a couple of opportunities on the counter-attack where they weren't able to find a through ball to Cosgrave. They weren't able to find a through ball to Rodoni. And, you know, they just weren't on the same page with Cosgrave. It's not Cosgrave's fault at all, I don't think. I think he's making the runs very good, very active off the ball. A couple of times he tried to play the hold-up, did get muscled off by the likes of Edmonton and Wolfenden, but again, he's still trying to find his stride. This is his first appearance here for AFC Wimbledon, first League One appearance in general. So, or maybe second, actually, came on as a sub maybe once or twice, but yeah, still trying to find his footing. Asal really wasn't on his day today in that first half, you know, a couple of wayward passes and just didn't really look like himself. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if that second half will be a bit better from AFC Wimbledon. That being said, I'll be right back after these short messages. I won't miss the first 5 minutes of the second half this time, so that's a promise from me to you.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to...
Shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fear. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh. stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone. So save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. Swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption.
If we are one grain of sand in the middle of the ocean, can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? Rise up, we're too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us, fly man, I'm like choppers, better took those risks, cold blood in my fists, we fire starters, one out of a million will reach those heights, always had a feeling that I won't deny that work, never could ties, look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise. Rise, cutting my ties, trying to make sense of it all comprised. Yeah, highs, pinning these skies. I'm stuck down, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when this risk involved. They got guts, gotta learn, I gotta wish it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating. Yeah, I'm that grain of sand that made it out the ocean. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pair that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the light won't scare us falling. So rise up, we're too great to be landed. Rise up, we're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us, fly man, I'm like choppers, better took those risks, cold blood in my fists, we fire starters, one out of a million will reach those heights, always had a feeling that I won't deny that work, never could ties, look in my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to play in my mind like standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I know no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me stronger.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus team up.
Oh my god, oh my god!
Epic stories. Tons of
So cliche. I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty.
See what Dons can do in the second half. I say a big shout to the Humberside Antipodean legend himself, Mr. Dave Kennery. Happy birthday, sir. And see if the Dons can maybe take one.
What's up, boys?
in the second half. And big shouts to Ed Havens.
We're back at it again. Second half.
Appreciating your listenership as always, sir.
Hold on. Just getting my scoreboard set up.
Paul Gray and, of course, doubly doing royalty, Sue Smith up in Roker.
All right. We're back at it again. First half, a bit slow in the beginning, and then Ipswich started to pick it up a little bit, but thankfully AFC Wimbledon's defensive shape has been solid throughout the half. However, one thing continues to bite us in the ass, and that's chance creation and shots on target. Only 4 in the past 4 games, according to Alexander Allison. Definitely not something to be proud of, but hopefully we can change something here in the second half. And Cosgrave holding the ball up, akin to what Ollie Palmer would do. 3, 4, 5 touches from Luke McCormick. Gets brought down. Ooh, I thought that might have been a penalty, but just outside the top of the 18. I think there might have been... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Somebody just grabbed George Marsh by the freaking back of the neck there, but Ipswich players are incensed that wasn't a foul. I think maybe got a little bit of the ball there, Edmondson there, as he tried to no, that's a foul. That is definitely a foul. Maybe he went through McCormick. He got a little bit of the ball, but he went through McCormick first before getting the ball, and he lunged in Edmondson to try to win it. Mistimed. It's going to be a free kick here. That was really good work there from Cosgrave there to hold the ball up. Played square to McCormick, who kind of caught Ipswich sleeping there. Caught him by surprise, as you know, McCormick starting off as the holding mid just came all the way up to receive that square ball there from Cosgrave and took 3, 4, 5 touches towards the 18. nicely done there from the pairing.
Well, shouts from Brian Wayne over there in the transatlantic style league. Just pointing out, I think the clock may have started late here in the stadium.
Surely Macca's going to take this one. We do see Rudoni lining up for it too with his left foot. Rudoni's both-footed. I mean, he's a great player. That was a good 5 yards over the bar there from Macca. Wasted opportunity there, unfortunately, but at least we have a yellow card now in the hand of Edmondson. He's forced to be a little bit more cautious now.
But the Dons aren't going to be, I don't think, manufacturing that many clear-cut opportunities of that particular nature. And Ipswich have formed a substantial wall to try and repel that free kick from the corner.
Ooh, well, Luco gets shrugged off there. Now Paul Ossio on the right-hand side here. 1-2 between him and Cosgrave. Unfortunately, it was Wolfenden who got a poke on that return pass.
Down the left-hand side. Well played though, Chisley. Good determined play. Forces Jackson back into his own half. Back now with Edmondson. Here goes Carroll. Angling his run from left to right. And towards that far side. Helped further down the line, but no chance for Tyreek Backinson to get on the end of that one. And out he goes for a throw-in to the Dons.
Sorry, I'm a fatty.
3.5 minutes gone then in the second half.
Results around the league. We got plenty of 0-0s. We got okay, Plymouth Argyle beating Fleetwood 2-1. Good result for us. Actually, no, there are only 3 games going on right now, or 4 rather. Yeah, that's the only game in which has seen any goals so far.
Meantime, here goes Carroll, moving towards the left-hand side, then releasing a pass forward, looking for Caden Jackson, who looks back somewhat ruefully at his colleague. In the end, Hennigan was able to shepherd that one.
I'm gonna let Mike and Rob do the commentary as I'm eating chips right now. I hope the audio is not too overpowering, but just enough so that you can hear their commentary, in case that I'm quiet.
Keeping their shape about them as well. Now starting to build upon it here in this second half, but real opportunity there for Luke McCormack with a set piece that, you know, they wanted to have done better with that because it was in prime position really, wasn't it? And Luke McCormack's certainly better at that.
Well, indeed, right on the edge of the box, and again, it couldn't have been more central, could it? But one of those things, unfortunately. Let's see if the Dons' endeavours can at least bring it.
Long ball up there, won by Edmondson, just shrugging off Ayubasal in the hold up there. But Chislett now taking a nice touch to beat Vincent Young, and now he switches it over here to Jack Redoni. He's going to take on 44, Donasi in 1v1, but ooh, nice change of pace there from Jack Redoni. Cross was a decent one, but it was blocked. Nicely done by Redoni. Took a couple step overs and then pretended like he was going to take it towards the corner flag, then quick change of pace with his left foot. Donasian was up to the task, though, as he blocked the cross. Oh, Hennigan! Oh my God, Hennigan! You've got to be kidding. Hennigan back again, top of the 6, gets the shot blocked. It looked to me like the ball dipped on Hennigan, so he ended up volleying it with the side of his foot, and it actually... What just happened there? I'm going to have to rewind. Nobody picked up Hennigan, and it was cleared off the line, but then it bounced off the post. Somebody stuck their foot out to try to clear it off the line, but then it bounced off the inside of the post, and it pinballed for a little bit more, and Hennigan tried to shoot it again with his left foot. The ball dipped last second, and Hennigan completely lost his mark. Completely leaving Edmondson for dead, as Edmondson kind of came tumbling to the ground as he ended up tripping. And, yeah, it was a shot from Chislett that got blocked, and then a shot from Hennigan that got blocked by Norwood. Holy hell. Edmondson is definitely going to be disappointed, and he lost his mark there and then ended up tripping towards the end there right before the volley came in there from Hennigan. It was a far post that he tried to volley with his left foot, and it was an attempted clearance on the line and wasn't fully clear, and it bounced off the post as the defender stuck his foot out. Damn. And now Aluko, nicely done there by foul committed there by Asal, as he kind of pulled him back a little bit. Aluko, he pulled Aluko back there. Or McCormack, actually. Sorry, I looked down for a second there. It looked to me like McCormack got the yellow. And now Burns actually gets by. Nicely defended there by Redoni, as he did beat Guinness Walker initially for pace. Aluko takes it off of McCormack. McCormack just a little bit too cute. Well defended by Hennigan, as a through ball was intended for Norwood. Edmondson being put on the press here by Asal. Asal wins it off of Edmondson. And draws the foul. That's got to be another yellow. That's got to be another... No, it's not. It's not. The crowd obviously getting in behind like, hey, it's another yellow. Hey. But it was just a simple... it was a simple winning a possession back from Asal. Asal turns and takes a heavy touch and maybe milks the contact a little bit, but enough for a foul. Nonetheless, it's going to be a free kick here for Wimbledon. And now the tides have turned. Finally, AFC Wimbledon on the front foot here. Now it's just a matter of how they continue the pressure. Every now and again, AFC Wimbledon, when they're on the front foot, they only have the front foot for 5-10 minutes unless it's against like a bottom table side, I guess. But AFC Wimbledon need to continue putting the pressure on. They need to continue making those runs. They need to continue to be incisive. That being said, a through ball, or I'm sorry, a high looping cross there from McCormick, headed away, not fully away. Top of the 18, Jack Rodoni being double teamed here, playing it out to Chislett. Rodoni, take him on, man. Ooh, tries to split the defenders. Back over to Chislett, though. AFC Wimbledon just kind of resetting now with Nesta. Yeah, he tried to play a through ball to Chislett, kind of forced a little bit, but that's what you like to see from Wimbledon. Instead of, you know, sideways passing, sideways tiki-taka, but not doing much with it. You know, every now and again, I would prefer AFC Wimbledon to play forced through balls a little bit too frequently than to just keep passing around, and not doing anything with it. So, that being said, Ipswich with a throw in here. Now Burns here on the right-hand side. Nicely done by Maka to get on the press there, top of the 18. Cosgrave pressing Wolfenden. Through ball there from Backinson. Ooh, now to Burns. Low cross. Good positioning there from Hennigan as James Norwood was waiting on that back post. I'm surprised they haven't played it over the top to Norwood because, you know, the likes of Hennigan and Chalka have been very good in terms of defensive positioning, and I'm surprised that they don't try to play it over the top to the likes of Norwood or to Jackson. I'm not complaining, though. Marsh headed away. Vincent Young now to the right-hand side to Aluko. Aluko just being too cute. He took a touch back to his left foot, and Asal was instantly on that, and he was able to pounce. And now Ipswich are just in their final third, just knocking around, kind of playing like AFC Wimbledon normally would. Playing in that V shape, just trying to knock it around and just take their time. Here's Backinson, top of the 18, being pressed by Maka once again. It's offside here on the wing there from Vincent Young.
Surely been better served there by a bit more direct play and maybe a quicker delivery into the penalty area to try and catch out the Dons. But in the end, you get the sense at times they're almost looking to try and walk the ball into the net. And in the end, free kick to the Dons. Nick Zanna will take over on the far side.
Perhaps Ipswich contemplating a change, not imminently or in a hurry. But of course they do as well have former player of the year, Joe Piggott, on the bench as well tonight. A number of forwards that Ipswich have.
Yeah, we've kept Jackson very quiet this game. Every once in a while, Norwood would like try to spin out and get into an area in which he can win a cross, but I think we've dealt with the crosses very well. And I think Ipswich are, while they're possessing well, they're being a little too predictable right now. And I think our defensive shape is good enough to where we're not going to concede a goal, but we're not doing enough on the offensive end to be too convincing either. And so it's just going to be another one of those stalemate type of games that we've been seeing a lot lately. I think maybe as a potential sub, you could bring on Mabude. Maybe for Asal. I'd say Asal has been woeful today. I think, yeah, bring on Mabude for a change of pace. Him and Cosgrave could be a very dangerous duo. Maybe not in a striking pairing, but just in general. Both of them with plenty of pace. And I think that's kind of what we need right now. We need someone like Adapa Mabude, who's maybe not the most technically gifted, but we need someone who's going to be willing to take someone on with pace. Oof. Ooh, Norwood being okay, he's going to play Burns in, and Burns gets a goal. Yeah. It was just Jackson making a run on that left-hand side, Norwood holding the ball up and then playing a nice little incisive through ball there to Burns. And he ended up blasting it through the legs of Nick Zanev. A bit unfortunate there, as Burns really not the most clinical finish there, as it was, from 6-7 yards away from Zanev, and he just hit it straight at Zanev, but Zanev had his legs open. And fuck. I mean, the build-up play was fantastic there from Ipswich, though. And, yeah. Paul also got caught a little too high. And, unfortunately, Choka tried to immediately press Norwood, but Norwood was able to just let the ball roll past his body and play the first time through ball over there to Wes Burns. And Burns, yeah, just hit it straight through the legs of Nick Zanev, unfortunately. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I shouldn't say that it's been coming because, again, Ipswich have not really been extremely not clinical, but they haven't been extremely convincing in terms of chance creation, aside from the couple of instances where Burns, beats Nessiganis Walker for pace, gets a cross off, or, Vincent Young plays it square to Backinson, and Backinson tries to do something himself, but yeah, I mean, Ipswich have dominated possession. Yeah. Paul Ostu was, I wouldn't say he got caught out. I just think that, he plays very high on the offensive end, and we weren't able to, a lot of the times we were able to cover the space, but this time, the likes of Jackson, who was on the ball, and then Burns making a good run after Norwood received the ball, and Ipswich just hit us really quickly on the counter. Yeah, I think Paulus was a little too high, though. Even though he was trying to help out on the offensive end. I think he was ahead of Rodoni, actually. So, yeah, maybe caught a little too high. Anthony Hartigan's going to be coming on now. I'm just trying to see exactly what started the move there. It was a through ball, obviously, that started the move, but it was Paul Osu who took the throw. But then Paul Osu kind of kept like trickling forward. Yeah, he put the press on there. To be fair, it was him who took the throw, right? Anyway, I'm 10 seconds behind here, so pardon me. Donasi, oh, that is a fantastic ball over to Burns from Donasian. Nicely done there by Hennigan to challenge Norwood and prevents Norwood from getting a foot on it. Doesn't get a touch on the ball there, Hennigan, but he kind of put his body in between Norwood and the ball, so Norwood couldn't poke it home. But yeah, anyway, a little talking about that goal though. Osu did take the throw, but then he did put the press on Aluko after Aluko won possession, and yeah, I mean I don't blame Osu because Aluko was a few feet away from him. You gotta press there if you're Osu, but yeah. But I mean, taking the throw in from Ipswich's or Wimbledon, yeah, Ipswich's final third defensively, you don't want Osu to take that throw in. Anyway, a couple of ball bouncing around here from Ipswich on the top of the 18 now. Still sketchy now.
Still not completely clear by the Dons. Almighty battle going on that far side. Burns at the heart of it for Ipswich.
Nicely done there from Hardigan to take it off of Edmondson, and the clearance there not fully away. Okay, it was deflected there. What has got to give? Something has got to give. What do we do though? Again, I still think bringing on Mabude could work, and then bringing on let's say Terry Ablade, 77th minute, 78th minute. I think Cosgrave hasn't seen the ball too much. To be fair, we haven't played very good balls whenever we try to play a through ball into Cosgrave, but he's been a little bit quiet in these last 15 minutes. Hasn't really made runs either. Okay, Aaron Cosgrave coming off rather. Terry Ablade coming on there for Cosgrave, so I think we'll see Mabude coming on maybe 10 minutes from now, 10 to 15 minutes from now. I was a little bit off with my substitution prediction, but nice to see Ablade coming on earlier rather than later.
What can they create maybe in the closing stages? Ipswich though with the advantage. And where's Burns? Well, we know all about him from his Fleetwood Town days, don't we? And
Chislett also came off about 7 minutes ago for Hardigan. Comeback certainly upcoming. Maybe not certainly, but I'd like to think that it will happen. Switch of the play to Burns. Jack Rodoni is able to muscle him off. Oh, Anthony Hardigan. Almost dispossessed. Nice run there made by Osu. Ooh. Unfortunately, the pass was just a little bit too central. It was a good play there from Osu, actually. He played it square to McCormick on the other side of the pitch and then immediately spun out to try to make a run. McCormick tried to play it to him, but too central as he was hooking out for the run. But, yeah, Osu is doing pretty good off the ball. Maybe a little bit too high every once in a while, but to be fair on that goal, he did take the throw, and I still don't think he should have taken that throw in, considering it was in Ipswich's half. And you wouldn't want Osu to take that throw in case something, something goes back the other way, which it did. Jack Rodoni has a little bit of space. James Norwood in the press. Hardigan to nobody in particular.
Chinks in the Ipswich defensive armour, which we have seen exist.
Absolutely, they're perhaps going to have to be brave here again as well, but they're only a goal adrift here, and still with the last quarter of this game to come. Ipswich now making a double substitution when play stops again, but there's still opportunities for Wimbledon to be had here, and particularly, as you said, the likes of Ablade.
Ooh, George Marsh tries to play a through ball there to Ablade, but I think Wolfenden was up to it. George Marsh with a bit of a battle there. Tussle for physicality, and he draws the foul there from Aluko. Yeah. Aluko's pretty upset that the foul was given against him, but he kind of threw his body in the way and kind of impeded George Marsh, as George Marsh was just trying to use his shoulder to beat him, and Aluko just kind of threw his body in there, kind of tripped up and tripped Marsh up as a result. So free kick here for Hardigan to take. Hasn't had an assist in a while. It's a good ball to the back post. Nobody's on it though. McCormick, volley top of the 18. Ooh, Hardigan tries to press Aluko high and forces Aluko to take a heavy touch. Nice little chip through ball there for Ablade. Oh, the keeper came out, made himself big. Ablade couldn't find an opportunity to hit it towards goal. Ablade tried to toe poke it as the keeper was about 2 feet away from him, and it bounced off his thigh there. It was a good ball there played by Jack Redoni. Little chip through ball over the top there from Redoni to find Ablade. Switch over now to intended for Ablade. He doesn't win the knockdown though. Yeah, it looked to me like the chance was gone, but Ablade caught up really quickly to get on that, and the keeper making himself big. Yeah, Ablade didn't have enough space there to dink it over him, didn't have enough space to dribble it around him. He was just forced to pretty much try to toe poke it through the keeper, and didn't work out. Great run by Ablade, very nicely timed. Sees the gap in the center, in between the center backs, Donasian and Wolfenden. Sorry, I'm just rewinding here. I just want to see. I want to see that again, as there was a bit of a stoppage in play. Yeah, I look back just to look at that a bit more microscopically, and Ablade was looking to see if he was onside, and he actually took a couple steps parallel to the back line and then just turned away as soon as he saw Redoni was about to play him in. Great chemistry between the two. But hopefully we can see a little bit more of that. Ablade wins the header there. Chip through ball over the top intended for Asal. Asal beats Edmondson. Gets the cross off. Ooh. Yeah, Edmondson tried to shield it off, and then Asal again off the ball. Press from Asal. Oh, man. Ayub Asal, I was talking about how he needs to come off, but last 5 minutes or so, he's been fantastic. And Edmondson tried to shield it out for a throw in, but then Asal just got a flick around him. The cross was... Wait, hold on. I'm 20 seconds behind. Okay. Wait, no. Never mind. Yeah, but Ayub Asal ended up dispossessing Edmondson just like 10 seconds later as he came up from behind, and Edmondson didn't see him coming. And Luke McCormick with a shot, a curler from his left foot, just a few yards wide of the frame. That happened about a minute ago. I was just kind of distracted. So a couple of opportunities there.
They have had a couple of very, very presentable opportunities that have forced Christian Walton into somewhat evasive action at times,
and now it's going to be Donasian. Burns. Through ball intended for Donasian. Back flicks it to save it from going out, and a free kick there for Ipswich. That was really good work there from Donasian to keep it in and keep the play alive.
referee just going across the far side. In fact, not sure. In fact, it may well be a free kick to Ipswich. Yes, it is. It's Tom Carroll who go across to the far side. More defending for the Dons to do, Rob.
Still very much in this game, though. Quarter of an hour left of regulation time. You'd have to say at the very creditable display from this young Wimbledon team.
Here comes another free kick then. It's, Guinness Walker intercepting with a header, but the Dons haven't got it completely clear. Now they have. Marsh nods it forward. Asal can't get there. Burns battling away for the ball.
Burns gets dispossessed there, but McCormick gets dispossessed afterwards. A couple of midfield battles there. Connor Chaplin coming on as a substitute there, dispossessing McCormick, but then getting dispossessed again. Anyway, Ablade wins the knockdown, surprisingly. He's not too tall. Hey! Rodoni's still in possession here. He beats Norwood and the other defender. Gets the cross off back post. Paul Osu was marauding forward, and then all of a sudden James Norwood just kind of got a shoulder to back, or a little bit of a push off there, and Rodoni was able to split the defenders, Norwood and I think that's Connor Chaplin, a substitute. But then the cross was just a little bit too close to the touchline, and it was out for a goal kick. Jack Rodoni did the hard bit. Unfortunately, didn't get the cross off well enough. AFC Wimbledon with definitely the better end of the chances so far in the last 10 minutes. With Blade just kind of hagging, just kind of making it difficult for Donasian, who tried to back flick it with his head. Chaplin.
With Chaplin. Now here goes Shalina in towards the edge of the penalty area.
Shalina.
Runs across the field from right to left before laying the ball off now to Vincent Young. Shalina once again, a couple of little step overs trying to bamboozle McCormick. Clipped forward down to the penalty area, but too far ahead of Kane Vincent Young. Well played.
Yeah, tried to chip it over for Vincent Young, but good, well defended there by Jack Rodoni. Yeah, we've only had a couple of decent chances with McCormick, a left-footed shot from his with his left foot there. Cosgrave with a shot from distance, but it was a foul anyway right before Cosgrave hit it and hit it off the post. Ooh, nicely done from George Marsh to keep possession. Whoa! Paul Osu, Ronaldo chops, dumbfounds his defender, takes it with his left foot. Shot from distance. Not enough power. But nicely done there by Paul Osu to completely dumbfound his defender and then take a couple touches toward the center to try to set himself up. That was really good work there. It was more of a Cruyff than it was a Ronaldo. It was a Cruyff, yeah, it was a Cruyff. But he beat his defender there, and nicely done there by Osu. Osu was only getting paid like a little over £1,000 per week or something. One of the lower paid players for AFC Wimbledon's roster, even though he's been playing for us in the starting lineup as of late. So we need to pay the man more. He's not like one of our most important pieces, but you know, he's stepped up big when we need him on that outside back position.
Another throw to Ipswich, who progressed down this near side with a succession of throw-ins. Taken by Vincent Young into Shalina, well watched and challenged by Marsh, but
oh, come on, that was off Shalina.
take the throw as if that was the correct award. There was always going to be a throw to Ipswich. Again, Vincent Young takes it. This time it's a waste of possession. Friend down the line and gave Norwood no chance of keeping that in play. So a throw in now to the Dons.
Surely we got to bring on Dapa Mabude now. I mean, Asal has impressed me in the last 10 minutes. I said to bring him off, but then all of a sudden he just found a fire in his soul, and he's been really pressing. I mean, when I say he's been poor, I meant on the ball he's been poor, but he always provides that press off the ball, and he never seems to get tired, really. I mean, he's a fogo no rabo. That's a term we use in Portuguese. It's a fire in the butt. Never tires. Oof. AFC Wimbledon kind of knocking around the back here. Zanev here intended for Ablade, but he doesn't win the header. Okay, Paul Osu knocks it forward and chested down by Ablade. Ooh, nice through ball there from Hardigan. Ness against Walker has to play it back, though. Takes a couple touches down the center. Where's the help? Come on. Head away, not fully away. Redoni at the top of the 18. Back flicks it to Osu. Osu, first time handball. Handball, no? Come on. To be fair, it did bounce off the defender's foot and then hit his arm right away. So kind of a proximity moment there. So yeah, maybe not a handball in the sense that it was close proximity. Yeah, it bounced off his leg and then bounced up onto his arm. So it would have been a very harsh penalty, to be fair, but nicely done there by Jack Redoni to get a back flick to Osu. Osu first time cross, and now it's going to be a free kick here for Wimbledon to take after it was a free kick drawn by Redoni after he got kind of pushed a little bit too much there by header away, not fully away, and then a volley attempt there by McCormick. He's had a couple of instances where he's found an opportunity to hit it from distance, but that time it was way off target there. And he had a free kick earlier from about 20 yards out in the second minute of the second half, 47th minute, but it was way over the bar. And now the leading goal scorer for Ipswich is going to be I forget his first name, Bonne, with 12 goals in the season. James Norwood is kind of hobbling off the pitch. Really hasn't been fit throughout the season and kind of been injury prone. So. Yep, a little bit of time wasting there. Dapo Mabude now coming on for Luke McCormick. Who's going to drop as that center midfielder then? Or the holding mid, rather. Are we going to see a change in formation? Nah. I think we may see Redoni dropping a little bit. Or no, I'm sorry, Hardigan. What am I thinking? So Hardigan was playing as an attacking mid and replaced... or no, as soon as Chisla came off, Hardigan dropped deep and McCormick played as an attacking mid. So now, it's okay, it's okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, Hardigan played as a holding mid in lieu of McCormick, who went up to replace Chislett. And then now McCormick's off. So Dapo Mabude is going to be playing on the, I want to say right-hand side now, even though he's been playing on the left mainly.
Still 1-0 then to Ipswich. Coming up for 8 minutes remaining. Wolfen then launches the free kick high and forward towards that far side. Chaplin will pick the ball up now for Ipswich.
Ooh, a bit of a 1-2 between Chaplin and Backinson.
Burns. Now here's Backinson. Back to Burns once again. Chaplin takes over.
Ooh, one-touch football by Ipswich here. Top of the box, they played incisive through ball to Burns. Tried to chip it over Zanev, but I think it deflected. Yeah, he tried to chip it over Zanev, but then it bounced off the top of Hennigan's foot as he came sliding in to try to get in the way, and it's a corner kick. Yep. Nicely done there by Ben Hennigan to get in there. Last-ditch challenge, as he usually does.
Don's unable to get out of their half just at the current time, and it's Tom Carroll who's going to come across and take the corner from the near side for Ipswich.
Oof. I think we made all the subs that we needed to make. I mean, we've made some questionable subs, but I think the subs today have been all right. Ooh, Terry Ablade with some press there as one of the center backs tried to play it back to the keeper, and the keeper barely got the clearance off. Mabude splits two defenders on the turn.
Challenged Redoni a few moments ago to concede the free kick, and Shalina inflicting a bit of pain there on Mabude, who's back in his feet but limping somewhat as he moves into the Ipswich half. from the referee. Throw into Ipswich now on the far side, a couple of yards inside the Dons half. Thrown down the line.
Man, I'm surprised.
Once again with their pass.
Still surprised AFC Wimbledon hasn't scored. I mean, I think they've been a little bit more clinical on the offense today. Being, you know, I shouldn't say more convict. I'm not playing with more conviction per se, but they're trying to play those through balls, and they're trying to play a little bit more central instead of playing it out wide all the time and trying to play crosses in. You know, they've been mixing it up. They've been a little bit more versatile today on the offense, but they haven't put away the couple of chances that they have had with Hennigan with a kind of a half volley on a corner kick on one end, and then you know, Asal putting some off the ball pressure, and we'll see. Paul also with a couple of shots from distance as well.
Tries to step over and play it down the line for Mabude, but in the end between them, they run the ball out. And out he goes for another throw in to Ipswich.
Luke McCormick has had a couple of chances, right, with a free kick from 20 yards out, blasted over, and then another instance in which Asal put on the press and it fell to the feet of McCormick and tried to curl it with his left foot a few yards wide. And Dapa Mabude almost got himself on the score sheet. Of course, Ayub Asal getting on the book for dissent. Not surprised.
Norwood, as he said, took an age to get off the pitch here. They're really trying to hold on to this 1-0 win. Wimbledon trying to find an equaliser here.
Now Wimbledon are pressing very high now. And the switch is over to Burns. And again, Burns drove it back post, and Hennigan tried to get in position and just bounced off of Hennigan. And it's going to be an own goal from Hennigan. Same exact scenario where they play Burns on that right-hand side. He's been a danger all game. He was a danger against us last time all game. And it was only a matter of time before Burns got on the score sheet earlier, and like clockwork, exactly. It was just a really good switch of play there from Macauley Bonne, the leading goal scorer. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players from AFC Wimbledon on the right side of the pitch. On the right side. I'm going to send you guys a screenshot real quick, actually. I'm going to send you guys a screenshot. We had 7 players from AFC Wimbledon on the right side of the midfield circle. 7. They switched to play. I'm going to send an... Oh, I can't send a screenshot this time because iFollow is just... Wow, iFollow blacked out the screen. Okay, I can't send a screenshot, but just take my word for it. Only one player on the other side. That was Nesta Guinness-Walker. He was the only player, aside from maybe Terry Ablade on the attacking end. Nesta Guinness-Walker was the only player on the other side. Obviously, you know, when a team tries to advance their play on one side, you usually want to converge as a team. But you don't want to have 9 players on one side of the pitch. I mean, that's inexcusable. Burns just had so much space to just take it inside the 18-yard box. And just was able to drive it low and hard. Nesta Guinness-Walker tried to position himself to block the shot, but wasn't in good position to do so. That's just... That's... I don't know, man. I can't really knock AFC Wimbledon's defending too much because they've defended fairly stoutly for the most part. But it's just those lapses where every once in a while we're just... Our shape is off or we're out of position and they capitalize. Fair play to Ipswich, they capitalize on their opportunities, to be fair.
Listen, we've lost our main striker, of course, in the last 24 hours. Lost our skipper as well. with this young Wimbledon team out here tonight. They've given a good account of themselves. I know it's not the scoreline we wanted, of course, 2-0 down here, but they've worked really hard out there, particularly in the first half. Second half, they've shown guts. They've tried to go out there and take it to Ipswich as well at times. It's not come off. They'll learn from it.
Yeah, it's certainly not the result we want, but I think that this was a good show of heart, a good show of character, something that we've been lacking in some games, you know, where we lack character. It's kind of ironic since I was just giving all sorts of praise to AFC Wimbledon earlier in the season for possessing a lot of character when they were behind, but, you know, in games like the game against Boreham Wood, the game against MK, where we just don't show enough conviction, we don't take enough risks in the final third. We took a lot more risks in the final third today with through balls to Ablade, with through balls to Cosgrave that didn't pan out in the first half mainly. But again, the end product's still not there when we had the opportunities. McCormick was a little bit poor today in the finishing department. I mean, they played their heart out. Their hearts out, but unfortunately, the improvements are too small right now for AFC Wimbledon, considering considering the stage of the season that we're in right now, where we're just ahead of the relegation zone. The improvements need to be more dire, and yeah. Congrats. Congrats on, you're no longer jobless. I got another job at Nordstrom and starting the second. Awesome. So you're just going to get several seasonal jobs? Just be like, okay, you're done now. Okay, we'll have you back. Okay, you're done now. Okay, we'll have you back. Anyway, Jack Rodoni now on the right-hand side here. Maybe he can create something out of nothing. Nope. Oh, okay, receives the ball back. Rodoni! Left foot. Okay. Jackson wins the header on the knockdown ahead of Hardigan. Fuck, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm not extremely disappointed with AFC Wimbledon's performance today, but I'm disappointed in the sense that, you know, the woes offensively just continue, right? Only one goal in the last 6 or 7 games. It's woeful. I mean, it's the complete opposite of last season, right? Where in the beginning, the woes were defensively. And, wait, hold on. Well, in the beginning of the season, last season, it was defensively. And then the middle of the season was offensively. We couldn't create chances. We couldn't score. And then later in the season, under Mark Robinson, we just played with so much heart and so much desire. And that being said, Fleetwood just made it 3-3 against Plymouth, just to rub salt in the wounds. How did Plymouth come back 3-1 down against a side like Plymouth? Or how did Fleetwood come back against a side like Plymouth? Fuck! Okay, well, that's definitely not good for the relegation battle. And now Fleetwood has just leapfrogged AFC Wimbledon in the table, even though they have the same amount of points. Yikes. Morecambe are still sitting 1 point behind AFC Wimbledon as it stands. AFC Wimbledon still have one game in hand against Morecambe and Fleetwood. Thankfully, we have Shrewsbury and Cheltenham as our next 2 games. Certainly winnable. I know I'm still talking about the future as if the game is already over, but there's still 2 minutes to go. I mean, it's still possible, but they're 2 goals down with 2 minutes to go. Fuck it, man. Again, I'm not disappointed with their performance today. I'm just disappointed with the pattern that we've been seeing in the last 6 games. That being said, I think we looked a little bit brighter today than in previous games on the offensive end. I think we looked a little bit less predictable. There are times where we tried to play Cosgrave or Ablade centrally, And there were times where we played it outside, as per usual, the, overlapping runs to Redoni, and then Redoni tries to take someone on 1v1, plays the cross. And then at times we see like a couple of heavy touches toward the center from McCormick, or we see, a Sal trying to get into a good area. And that's a foul there on top of Mabude. Double yellow incoming? Yep, double yellow. Hey, consolation at least. Yeah, Mabude just kind of turned, let the body roll across his body, or let the ball roll across his body rather, and Vincent Young just tripped him up. Easy foul, easy yellow, easy sending off as he was already on a yellow. But unfortunately, it's too little too late. It was nicely done there by George Marsh. First touch from a ball that was in the air, and he played it square to Hardigan. Hardigan tried to play Mabude, square, but then Mabude just let it roll across his body. Nicely done there from Mabude. Wait, what? I'm confused. You got something in the mail that will make other people look like a complete waste of time. Oh, are you talking? Oh, shit. Back post there. Unfortunately, wasn't steered in. Are you saying it's something related to entertainment? Like, is it a video game, or is it something that will keep you occupied that you'll be like, no, fuck hanging out with other people. I'm doing this right now. I get the feeling. I am a bit of an introvert sometimes. The past year or so, I've been going out a lot more, but I still have that introvert side to me where I'm just like, okay, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm doing my own thing.
Come to an end, one would imagine, in the next few moments, with the Ipswich emerging with a 2-0 victory. And indeed, there he goes. That's the final whistle. Again, we hear the word used gallant a lot in terms of describing how the Dons play, but
well, it is what it is.
Absolutely everything, given the circumstances and the injuries that they had to contend with. Of course, Ollie Palmer.
2-0 Ipswich. I didn't update the score, but yeah, it's 2-0, not 1-0. I just failed to update the score after Burns scored because I just couldn't be asked at that point. But that being said, 2-0 Ipswich. It's a very disappointing result. And as I already mentioned, I'm disappointed in the pattern that we have been seeing and that we just cannot seem to find goals. And we only have one goal in the past 6 games, I think. 6 or 7, I'm not entirely sure. But I think it was a more valiant performance today. I think AFC Wimbledon were a little bit less predictable on the offensive end. And I think what we showed flashes of brilliance, and I think we were a little bit more versatile in the final third today. I think that Aaron Cosgrave, although he didn't really show out too frequently, there were a couple of times in which he held the ball up. Half the time he held the ball up, the other half of the time he got muscled out by Edmonton Wolfenden. And then he tried to make a couple of runs down the 18-yard box. Didn't hook out wide too frequently as I was expecting him to do. Considering that I saw his highlights when I first reacted to him being signed by the club, and I'm like, he likes to go on the outside a lot, make on-the-ball runs on the outside, use his pace, but a lot of the times he played as that hold-up, kind of like an Ollie Palmer, except not as deep as someone like Palmer would play, and, he would try to make runs toward the top of the 18 instead of hooking out, and the likes of Asal mainly, and every now and again, Osu and Redoni just couldn't find him on the through balls. I think AFC Wimbledon just kind of struggled to be on the same page with Cosgrave. But then ever since Terry Ablade came out, we saw a lot more success with Terry Ablade in terms of the runs. There was a really good ball played in by Redoni, chipped ball in for Terry Ablade, and Ablade held his run. He checked his run very, very well. And unfortunately, the pass from Redoni was just a little bit too heavy, and the keeper came out, made himself big. Ablade, the only thing he could do was to try to toe poke it past the keeper. That was the best chance of the game for AFC Wimbledon in the second half. A couple of other notable chances, I guess, from both sides. In the first half, really none to talk about from AFC Wimbledon aside from second minute. Paul Osu took a couple touches toward the center and tried to blast it probably 4 or 5 yards over the bar. And Paul Osu had another instance later in the second half in which He actually Cruyffed it past his defender, took a couple touch towards the center and tried to blast it, but it wasn't with enough power, straight at the keeper. But anyway, let me try to go in chronological order. 3rd minute, shot from Masu over the bar. After that point, it was just a stalemate midfield battle between both sides. Ipswich gave it away a lot on the midfield, but then AFC Wimbledon failed to capitalize with Ayoub Assal playing a couple of wayward passes, notably trying to play Cosgrave in behind, and a couple of times, didn't play it to Cosgrave, like he played it too far to the right of Cosgrave when he was making a run, or he played it behind Cosgrave as Cosgrave was trying to make a run, and just they weren't on the same page. Assal, I said that he should have come off around the 60th minute or so. He was kind of poor on the ball, but then all of a sudden, Ayoub Assal I should say all of a sudden because he was pressing for the majority of the game, but he found a couple opportunities where he dispossessed Edmondson mainly. One time he dispossessed, put a cross, and it was headed away. Edmondson found it, and then he got dispossessed again by Assal and played it straight over to McCormick. McCormick hit a shot from just outside the 18-yard box, curled it wide. And earlier in the half, that was about the 65th minute or so. Earlier in the half, 2nd minute of the 2nd half, 47th minute, McCormick with a really, really good marauding run forward, taking several touches, getting brought down by Edmondson. And then the free kick was just woeful. I mean, he blasted it 6 yards over the bar. Definitely not something that you would expect from someone like Luke McCormick. You would expect him to at least hit the frame. Luke McCormick was decent, but on the final third, just lacked that finishing touch. I think we did very good defensively for the most part. Choka and Hennigan were doing well defensively speaking in terms of positioning. A couple of crosses that Burns played on the right-hand side. Burns was a danger man all game. The likes of Hennigan and Choka would clear their lines, except for one instance in which Norwood found himself making a run in behind past Choka and then try to get a cross off, and Hennigan blocked it, or cleared it out for a corner. The second half, the defensive shape started to look a little bit more frail. I think Ipswich, instead of, they played a lot to the right-hand side of Burns, and when they were on the left-hand side, they tried to play it to their striker, not Norwood, I forget the name of the other striker. But they played it up to Jackson too much, and Jackson would be pressed by the likes of Hennigan and Choka. But Jackson was more of a threat in that second half. I think he was dropping a little bit more deep in the hold-up, and there was one instance in which he dropped deep and then spun out, and he was able to get past his man, and he received a through ball there from Aluko, and then Johnson switched it over to the other side to Burns, and Burns drove it low and hard and beat Zanev. And unfortunately, kind of deja vu 20 minutes later, where again Burns found himself on the right-hand side. This time it was with AFC Wimbledon with like 9 players on one side of the pitch, and it was just Jackson switching the play easily over to Burns, and Burns just drove it low and hard, and unfortunately Ben Hennigan tried to clear his lines but couldn't get in position and just bounced off his leg and right into the goal. Burns was a danger man all game. Him and Donasian connected on several occasions in the first half. The second half, Donasian didn't go up on the attack as frequently, or should I say he wasn't as much of a factor on the offense in the second half, but him and Burns connected on several occasions. Burns and Backinson connected. Aluko was, even though he gave away possession a few times, and AFC Wimbledon were on the counter, AFC Wimbledon didn't capitalize. Aluko was decent on the offensive end. I think it was just a good game all around played by Ipswich. I think at times they played empty, negative possession, but in the end, I think they were just more clinical, and they were a little bit better in the final third than us. So it is what it is. We'll get some reactions from the Facebook, from the Twitter. And my man of the match here for AFC Wimbledon, I will say Terry Ablade. Terry Ablade came on. He's fairly dangerous. Not only that, but he actually timed his runs fairly well. Ablade won a couple, even though he's not the tallest player in the world, he won a couple of knockdowns from the long clearances from Zanev or from Ben Hennigan. Most of the time, the knockdowns were when the defender wasn't challenging him directly, but Terry Ablade getting in good positions to win the knockdowns, getting in good positions to make runs inside the box. I think he was fairly solid all around. I'm now logged into Facebook. I actually have to. I have to attend to something, so I'm gonna cut it short. I will post my post-match reaction in a few hours, with the insight on the fan reaction. So thank you guys for watching.